Welcome to Bear Lifestyle, the podcast where we speak up and speak out about all taboo topics and make them normal and acceptable. You are invited to be curious, to try something new, and stay open to provocative perspectives. I'm your host, Simona Spark, a best-selling author, international speaker, transformational coach, and so many other things. Beyond anything else, I'm a woman who stopped following other people's rules and started creating my own. In this space, we are going to get naked by stripping away insecurities, self-judgments, and all kinds of limitations so we can reach in for the essence of who we really are, Bear. Beautiful, authentic, real, and ever evolving. Thanks for listening. Welcome back, everyone. Celebrating, as always. This time we celebrate with mint tea. I'm celebrating myself. I'm celebrating my amazing guest. And I'm celebrating all of you. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, tuning in from Bali. As I promised last week, I'm here. I arrived and I stumbled over this wonderful man. My friend, to be honest, this is a Bear space. Not my friend, somebody that I knew and it's just become my best friend, and that's how we roll. So let's say welcome to Mag.
Yes.
Welcome.
Hi.
So this is the first time when I do the podcast with the guest and we are like next to each other.
Cozy.
Cozy. I want to show you the view, you guys. It's pretty ridiculously amazing. That's where we are. But if you follow me on social media, I post a cute video pretty much every day to let you in into what's going on in this amazing one-way ticket lifestyle. So today, let's jump in. I was talking with Mag the other day. I said, hey, we need to do a podcast together. And what would you like to talk about? And he didn't even think too much. And he says, well, Asian man perspective on identity.
Yes.
Like that's a big topic. Probably we will need to do like 28 episodes.
Yes, we'll just touch on the beginning.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about you, where you come from, where you landed, where you live so far, because now you're in Bali.
Yes.
But just give us a little bit of your journey.
Yes. Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you, Simona, for this opportunity.
Yeah.
And thank the universe for bringing us together, because some people may know us from our HCI training over the past years. And we met briefly, 5 minutes every few months at a retreat. And then here we are. When I heard that you were traveling through Thailand and Bali, of course, we were here. We've only been here 1 month ahead of you.
Already locals, you guys, like him and his wonderful wife, Adriana, they're like locals already.
Yes, we feel I look local. So, and then here we are catching up and going deep into conversations, stories, and it's wonderful. So yes, when it comes to this topic of identity, which I think is so powerful, and what you focus on, got me thinking about my own identity, which I believe when I was much younger, I had a crisis with. I had an identity crisis because I'm both American. I was born in America. I spent many years in America, but not just America. And I'm also from the Filipino heritage. My parents came from the Philippines, so I'm an immigrant. I'm an son of an immigrant, second generation. And so I grew up with this identity of both Filipino and American. And when I was young, that was confusing because, as we know, we're both immigrants in a way, definitely. And we have more than one perspective, which is, I think, a blessing. I realize now it's a blessing.
Yeah.
But how does an Asian man in America feel about themselves and feel about the world in general? That I thought was a very interesting question.
And just to cut you off a little bit here, so your family is from Philippines, so that's your blood.
Yes.
You were born in US, so that makes you a American citizen, and then you also live in Europe, right?
Yes, 17 years in London.
London.
Yes, and 7 years in Germany also on top of that when I was younger.
7 years in Germany, then back to United States. And now Bali.
And now Bali. This is part of this new lifestyle that we share a passion for, which is being able to live and work and travel anywhere in the world. And because we can now. So that's part of the reason that brings us here. Yeah. Let's go back a little bit to United States, growing up. So here you are, you were United States. Which state you were as a child? As a child, I was in California. California. But we traveled between Colorado and Washington State. Okay. So California is very colorful, mostly Hispanic. So I think you probably blend well there. Yes, I did. So what was the biggest challenge that you have giving your identity, your looks, your origins? What was the biggest challenge as a child? I think it was learning where I fit in, where I was most comfortable, because I fit in many different circles. You know, in Colorado, for example, I hung out with the Latinos, with the Chicanos. Yeah. And in California, we had lots of Asian communities. I hung out with Japanese, Chinese, Filipinos, and same in Washington State. West Coast in general, there's a lot more Asian American families there. So I felt like a chameleon. I was able to mix in all these different groups. And in fact, even in our last trips to Santa Fe, New Mexico for Indian market, which is something that fascinates me, some of the locals there would ask what tribe I was from. Right. So I had this energy of being from different cultures. And so, of course, it could be confusing to some, because, you know, who am I if I feel like I'm from all these different places? But I realize actually I'm all of these things, because I'm open, like Simona is. We're open to things, and because we're open, we see things a little bit differently, and we learn to accept all these parts of our lives. I think you had this wonderful word you mentioned about being a soup, right? The chorba. Chorba, yeah, was my name of origin, when you have everything in it. Yes. Yeah. And I've been called a chameleon many times. Yes. And you could go as a chameleon easily. Definitely. And I think it's a big part of our identity is to realize that we can be all of these things. Of course, deep down, there's these other values and qualities that is part of our identity. And, you know, one of those words I came up with yesterday when I was journaling was, you know, creativity, you know, diversity, open-mindedness, empathy, compassion. These were also deep values and traits that are part of me. But on the surface, it was, you know, what color, what tribe, what creed, you know, what language, and what culture. Yeah. And it was fascinating. It's still fascinating. Absolutely. That's what makes life richer. Like when we are here and like just stripping away all the labels, and we really want to go to like to the core of things, like who we really are there. When we are not a mother, not a father, not a wife, no Filipino, no Romanian, no, like who you really are. Yes. Because we get to do everything that we want to be. We get to be everything that we want to be.
And we actually are. And that is the reason that we get to be everything that we want to be, because we already are.
Yes.
And the only thing that doesn't let us actually be it is whatever we talk for 2 seasons now, all the programming and limitations and beliefs and circumstances and stereotypes and societal rules and all the things. That's why this space has been created to just be bare. Like, let's just be, let's just connect with another human and forget about all the things that not only that have us judge others and judge ourselves. Those birds are fighting with us or agreeing with us.
Yeah, they're speaking out.
Yes. What I was saying. So those labels, not only that have us judge others and judge ourselves, but it also they're dividing us. And that's what's sad about it. Like, they divide us, like, oh, you're too brown, you're too white, you too man, you too woman, you should do this, you should do that. Like, just fuck them all, can we already? And just look to the essence of who we really are. So let's get back to you as this identity crisis and realizing this polarity. Like, I could fit everywhere, but I don't know who am I when I'm fitting everywhere, right?
Yes.
Like, ooh, that's gonna be an amazing, juicy book.
Yes. Like the chameleon inside us, and I look at it as a positive, but yes, it could cause some crisis because sometimes we might think, we're not sure where we come from, where we belong.
Yeah.
But as I mentioned, we are all these things, but we are also at deepest levels these qualities and traits that we talked about. That's which I think is beautiful about what you have been focusing on, bearing and stripping away all those things and digging deeper into who we are inside. So inside, I'm this person. I've experienced these things. What do I do with this now? What have I learned from it? And how can it help other people? Because that's part of our purpose, our shared purpose.
So who are you?
Yes, who am I?
Who you are, what you do, how you experience life, and how you help other people.
Yes.
Because you say those 3 things.
Yes.
So I want the answer.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Who am I? That's a good question. Well, I am.
Besides the fact that you're somebody that evolves every day, but today, right here, with cicadas. Is that how you say it?
Yes, I think those are cicadas. Yeah, they're loud here. And they speak Balinese, Bahasa.
Yeah. So how do you identify yourself?
Well, I suppose I identify myself as kind of a empathetic, sensitive man. I'm in touch with my female energy. I identify with a man of culture because I am many different cultures. And I identify also, as a husband, partner, a friend.
A new best friend.
A new best friend. I can call her Simi now.
You've been upgraded.
Yes, I've been upgraded, and I feel that these. I mean, this is me. I'm a very open person. I'm very good at meeting people and getting to know them. I'm a good listener. I love to participate. I love to laugh and have a good time as well.
Right.
So yeah, that's in a nutshell, I believe, who I am.
Yeah, a drop of your whole big identity.
Yes, thank you. Yes, it's a drop. But the question of what is it that I do as part of my identity?
Yep. What you do, and mostly because we do zillions of things, but how do you impact people? Because you say you're here to help others.
Yes. I believe for many, many years in my career as a designer that I was in service of trying to help solve a problem.
Mhm.
And now I have a slight reframe and twist of that. And I used to say that I was working on kind of like helping the problem with environmental sustainability. Now I focus on personal sustainability. I believe taking care of our health, our mind, body, spirit first, so we are able to be in a place where we can serve our external purpose and reason for being here.
Yeah.
So I my new purpose is all about helping others get in touch with that, to to be healthier in all these levels. And my foundation for it has been sleep. That's what I've been known for.
Yes.
First, take care of our sleep, and then we take care of all the other aspects of our health. Um, and what I'm learning is how important our emotional health has been, because I've had huge struggles in the past couple of years in that area. Sleep helps and is connected to every component of our well-being, but I struggled with that emotional part. I am still in the process of processing grief and loss, but I'm on the journey healing that.
Mhm.
So, and that's what my purpose is to help people also through this, because I've had some experiences that I think, many people have experienced loss and grief, but um, at my age, I won't say how much, but I feel like I have a little bit more experience. I have experience as an Asian man too, when we talk about identity, because men in general and Asian men in particular, we don't talk about these things.
Right.
I grew up, like you mentioned in your stories, of not being able to express ourselves.
Mhm.
It wasn't part of our culture. It wasn't even part of our culture to express our emotions. And I was never told that I was loved from my parents. And
Mhm.
we shared all these stories. Um, but now I'm a man here now today who realizes the importance of that.
Mhm.
And with everyone I interact with, and my son, to everyone that I've met new and from my past, is
Mhm.
to, in some way, share
Yeah.
that feeling of love for them. You don't always have to say I love you, but you can be in the moment,
You could
and
say without the words.
you could say with other words, yeah,
Yeah.
or other gifts, right? Like
Mhm.
signs of affection, or acts of service, right?
Right.
We
Right.
know about love languages. This is how we can serve people through many different ways.
Yeah. So will be safe to say in your case, I'm speaking from my perspective and hundreds that I talk with in the space of coaching and healing, that as a man, you've been raised and encouraged to express your masculinity, which has a lot to do with thinking, with doing, right?
Yes.
And until you get into a point where you got in touch with your femininity, that has to do with like being more inwards, more in the heart, and more into feeling the feelings and expressing the feelings. And in the second part, I'm still in my own personal journey. I'm looking, it's like kind of like the chicken and the egg conversation. Is it accessing the feminine that it's gonna help me go through healing, or is it going through healing that helps me accessing my feminine and get in touch with my feelings, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Because I'm looking
yeah.
at your previous career, even though it has a lot of feminine energy in it, because we are talking interior design and
Yes.
creativity, that's all feminine power.
Yes.
But you use your brain a lot. You use and you do.
Yes.
And now in this journey, when you say I'm a man, that I'm in touch with my feelings and I'm a path of healing
Yes.
and comfortable with the feminine power, what will be for you? What do you think at this point? Because I'm also stay
Yes.
open, the things are shifting and are changing, but at
Yes.
this point, which one goes for you? Which one goes first?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I am aware of that question, and it might be different in a few months' time or a year's time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've been in touch with both sides of that,
Mm-hmm.
because as a child, I didn't even realize this until more recently as an adult, what a highly sensitive person was.
Right.
And I was this person. So I was coming from feeling then without knowing anything
Mm-hmm.
as a young child. Now, as an adult, I realize that, there's a word around it, and there are many other words about empathy. And I felt like this was this was one of my super powers as a designer, was to get in deep with my clients, with my whether they're design clients or coaching clients, through this power of
Mm-hmm.
empathy, understanding deeply what they're going through. And so from more recent experiences, yes, it's part of the doing and the actions, because the male energy is all about this.
Yeah.
And we know that it isn't just all chanting and manifesting and affirmations, it's also doing. So I've been fairly good at balancing that. My wife is really good at reminding me about balance, and also about the feminine side,
Right.
because I need to be reminded. And so yeah, these days I'm kind of working with from both. When I sit down and I'm writing, I feel the act of writing, the doing part is taking place, but the feelings are coming out on pen to
Yes.
paper.
So
And,
we get
yeah.
to walk with both.
Yes.
And that's exactly what I want to convey, because those are the extremities,
Mhm.
do and feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we get to walk with both. And I love that you say balance. I think that's key, to find our balance. And more than that, to allow your balance to be yours,
Yes.
and nobody else to have your balance.
Yes.
As I say in my TEDx talk, there is no instrument to measure feminine and masculine energy and what's too much or what's too little.
Good point.
You are the only one that you could find it, and also allow yourself to be different.
Yes. Yes.
I love that you say that it's like, yeah, it's not all about thinking and feeling and manifesting and whatever. Yes, and dreaming, and we create so much, we accomplish so much into dreaming.
Yes.
So we need to sleep more.
Yes.
But none of that's gonna happen if you don't actually put your ass in a game and do the damn thing.
Yeah. You take the action.
So
Yeah.
take the action. Yeah. So we need both. We need both, and we
Yes.
have both.
Yes, we do.
The problems and all, I think, I feel safe to say we all run into problems. Maybe still, but definitely in the past, was when we only try to walk with one.
Yes.
And walking with one, it's like you don't show up fully.
Yes. Yes. That's a perfect kind of analogy of how we talked about the other day about like the healthcare system.
Hmm.
One doctor is not talking to another, and then all of a sudden you find out something's happening. And this was a wake-up call for a lot of people that
Yeah.
realize now that there's more than one way of looking at things. There's more than one way of being.
Mhm.
There's more than one way of identifying ourselves. And so, learning to be more open-minded to multiple perspectives, I think is a skill. And, unless we're exposed to it, we may not know this. I was journaling the other day, talking about my father and why he couldn't see some of the things that he's been through and be grateful.
Mhm.
He has maybe a narrow perspective. Many people don't realize they actually have choices how they feel. Life is not just pain and suffering. It
Mhm.
can be joyful if we just open up and allow it to be.
Yeah.
But we do need help, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why we're here. We're here to help people in any way we can see and find balance, see more clearly about why we're here, our purpose.
And talk about the damn thing, because that's how we, and I said it before, that's how we make the taboo topics normal and acceptable. We talk about them. And if you get just one thing for this 20 minutes or so, that's fantastic. That's a win from us. Take that thing, but don't just take it for yourself. Take it and talk about it with another person. Talk about it with another person. Get somebody else's perspective. This nothing that what we say and do is absolute. It's like it's shifting and changing. And I cannot say it enough. And maybe you're sick of me, but you wake up every morning as a new person. When you wake up and just ask that person in the mirror, who the hell are you today? What do you like? How would you like your day to be today? What do you believe today? How did you improve from yesterday? Like, have those questions. Just be curious, as well as you're curious, genuine curious when you meet somebody, right? Like, hey, what's your name? Where you from? What are you doing? How you been? How you get here? It's the same conversation that you could have it. I always say, like, attach it to brushing your teeth. I want to believe everybody brush their teeth in the morning. You don't need to create a new habit. You already have that habit.
Yes.
You don't think about it, and just look at that person in the mirror. Look them in the eyes, and
Yes.
get curious, and allow yourself to like them and love them a little bit more than yesterday. And that being said, as you have a new identity, as Meg beautifully expressed it, is like, oh, and it's another layer today. So I'm more things that I was yesterday, and that's okay. And how do I want to show up today? This masculinity, this femininity, and you feel it in your body, and you don't have to justify it and explain it to anyone. Is you in your day as you show up, it feels right to you. For me, after all these years of talking with so many people, we talk about impact, and I always said that deep somewhere in some mustache of the roots, we have the same purpose, to be happy.
Yes, to be happy. Absolutely.
So there are so many books and teachings of happiness, but I don't see another better way to teach happiness than by being happy.
Yes, being happy. Some people need a little hand holding to understand.
Yeah,
what
there's
makes
books,
them
there's
happy.
tools,
Yeah.
there's lessons, there is like researches and
Yeah.
pulling things up. Yes, but I see that in my coaching practice, like clients there, and I want to believe there is people in the audience and our viewers that might go through that, that put so much on themselves, like, how can I do it? How can I impact more people? And I need to do more, and myself included many times. But it's like, what if you actually gets to be a little bit easier? What if the way that you could impact more people is to just take care of yourself more? So you show up happier and more at peace and more calm and more genuine, because that's what the real connection is. For me, the way that I understand that in my personal life is like when I meet somebody, like lately for the past couple of years, when I meet somebody that we have the same core values.
Yes.
And you're an example, are like best friends next 5 minutes.
Yes. Yes.
Because it's genuine and the energy is clean. There is no agenda. There is no how I'm gonna get him or none of that.
Yes. Yes.
And it's always getting back to, has nothing to do with the other person, and has to do like how you clean up yourself first thing when you wake up.
Yes.
What are your practices? Do you mind talking about some practices of
Yes.
self-care, self-love, grounding?
Yes.
Just in closing.
Yes, absolutely. Well, one of the things that I always love to share is that your day begins with the night before, taking care of your sleep. And then there are many ways that people prepare for that. I mean, creating a ritual to prepare for bed. And as you talked about some of the thoughts and questions we ask ourselves about how we want to show up, ask those questions before bed so that your spirit and mind can sit with that throughout your sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we like to do is when we get up, we are very slow to get up. We take our time. We have hot water, lemon. We have meditation. This morning we listened to loving kindness meditation, and I realized this is something I want to listen to more right
Mm-hmm.
now. Right now in my life, this is what I need.
Allowing yourself to do what you
Yes.
need,
Yes.
not what everybody telling you that you should be doing.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is very, kind of important time for me. So, but the point is to have whatever ritual you have, do it every day. Prepare your day. Some people like to get up very quickly and move. They might have to, but if you just take 5 minutes for yourself to be still, to drink your tea or meditate or pray, whatever it is, just 5 minutes before you rocket out of the bed,
Mm-hmm.
just to be you, yourself, set intentions. And it can be as simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then everything will follow. I mean, waking up with one intention, a positive intention, and that could be enough.
Yeah. I love that. And thank you for sharing.
Yes.
I always promote it's like there is no perfect practice. You need to find your own.
Yes.
What feels good to you.
Absolutely.
As you like your night routine is my morning routine.
Yes.
So there is no recipe. Like
Yes.
at night, I like to be grateful for what happened. I wonder how do I live this planet a little bit better than I found it, just in case I don't wake up.
Yes.
Like this is lately on my radar.
Right.
Since I left, as I share with you guys, I'm still processing this thing that there is no return ticket and don't really know what's next, way ahead, right?
Yes.
And I have this awareness of like, okay, how did I show up today? Those are my thoughts when I go to bed with, and setting the intention to make it a little bit better tomorrow,
Yes.
a little bit lighter, a little bit happier, a little bit, and not all, because that already feels too much, but just one of these, like, help me God, Jesus, spirits, whomever you believe in,
Yes.
to just expand one of this more tomorrow.
Yes.
So I could be better, right?
Wonderful.
And then in
Yes.
the morning, I really like to meet that crazy woman in the mirror. Like, she's crazy. I love her. And then how many practices you could have during the day? Like just drink your tea and pay attention to the taste. Have your lunch and enjoy whatever you eating, and all, like, could be as simple as that. It's not all about meditating for hours or going to the church or whatever. There's some extreme things, 30 days or whatever, 45 days, 2 lunar circles off, and it's just like, it feels like work.
Yeah. It's
Like for
hard work.
me, it's like, it's very a masculine energy invitation into doing a feminine energy work.
Right. That's a good perspective.
So
Yeah.
it always feels disconnected to me.
Yes.
All right, so here's what I got. I don't know how long I'm going to be in Bali. Hopefully Adriana could join us for another episode. So I have you,
Yes.
both of you.
Yes.
She's a businesswoman as well, so she was not available today. But we will come back with Mag, and for sure I'll be here by myself. And before I close, there is still less than 2 weeks left for the Bear Bali retreat. I'll put everything in the descriptions. Let people know where they could find you and what you do these days. Do you want to tell us? And then we're going to
Yes.
put some links in the description. Please open the description, you guys, and you could see where you could find Mag and his personal email if you want to contact him directly.
Yes. Well, as you said, I think I'm Googleable.
Googleable.
And yeah,
Googleable.
find me on Googleable. And but we call ourselves Good Life Sleep. because we believe in a good life comes from good sleep.
Mm.
That's where we are at this moment.
Currently.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's changing and evolving like
And a lot,
yourself.
it's in the making. So make
Yes.
sure you follow them. And I say them, it's Mag and Adriana
Yes.
with his wife.
Yes.
Because a lot it's in the making. So
Yes, but that's where you can find me. Thank you.
yes. All right, you guys. I wish you an amazing day, a fabulous week. You know where to find me. Everything is in the description. If you need to contact me directly, the email is the best, transformation@simonaspark.com. And I am celebrating you. We are celebrating you with a tea today. Any words in a closing, sir?
Well, thank you. Thank you. Terima kasih, suksema in Balinese and Indonesian. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a bear day, everyone. Ciao.
Thank you for tuning in today. I would love to hear from you. What inspired you? What triggered you? And what interests you? Please join the conversation by leaving your comments and your insights. Explore more about Bear Experience at simonaspark.com/bear. I hope you listen, follow, rate, and review all of our episodes. I can't wait to have you back. Till then, be Bear. Beautiful, authentic, real, and ever evolving.